Mamdani ha ganado las elecciones de Nueva York y será el próximo alcalde de la ciudad más grande de los Estados Unidos. Nueva York, el epicentro del capitalismo mundial, la catedral de Wall Street, el símbolo por excelencia del poder financiero occidental, acaba de elegir a un socialista musulmán de 34 años como próximo alcalde de la ciudad.
Bueno, mi gente, ya es oficial. Zohran Mamdani será el próximo alcalde de la ciudad de Nueva York, arrasando por completo con todos los otros candidatos. Sí, mi gente, y con esto se consagra otra gran victoria para los demócratas esta noche. Y bueno, mi gente, yo les voy a ser honestos, yo no soy un fanático 100% de Mamdani, hay muchas cosas de él que me gustan, pero algunas de sus políticas yo veo muy difíciles de implementar, pero esperemos que el tiempo me muestre que estoy equivocado, que haga un gran trabajo para la ciudad de Nueva York y que ayude a que esa hermosa ciudad siga creciendo, siga progresando y más importante de todo, que la gente que vive y trabaja ahí mejore su condición de vida. Así que veremos qué pasa, pero mientras tanto, felicidades al nuevo alcalde. Y bueno, si ustedes viven en la ciudad de Nueva York, déjenme saber qué opinan sobre esto. Queda claro que la gente de Nueva York ya estaba harta y quería un cambio, y efectivamente eso es lo que se vendrá. Así que déjenme saber qué opinan. Saluditos y bendiciones para todos.
Despite the billionaire bucks that were flowing into the anti-Mamdani campaign, he won pretty handily against Andrew Cuomo, which like 5 minutes ago, the Republican Party was telling us he was unbelievably corrupt, that he should be in prison, and all of a sudden it was our duty to get the word out, to get people to vote for Cuomo somehow again. Bill Ackman almost personally ran against Mamdani, right? Bill gave $1.75 million. Michael Bloomberg also gave money to a Cuomo-affiliated super PAC. He gave $8.3 million to stop Mamdani, and it didn't matter. The Airbnb co-founder, Joseph Gebbia, gave $3.1 million. It didn't matter. The Tisch family gave $1.2 million. It didn't matter. Still, Mamdani won. Why? Okay, if we're being honest, he probably won during the first mayoral debate. Okay, just like if I reflect upon 2016, Trump kind of won in the first Republican debate because he was just kind of saying F you to the establishment, and it was pretty apparent.
The war in Iraq was a big fat mistake. They lied. Okay. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none.
The first foreign visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first?
I would visit the Holy Land.
I would go to Israel.
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies.
My first trip to Israel, my wife's life work in this area means a lot to our family, and it could coincide with my young son Miles' bar mitzvah.
I would say in New York City, my plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
As a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
He won't
Not as a
say it
Jewish
has a right to
state.
exist as a Jewish state.
And his answer was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that.
That's what he was trying to say.
No, I'm not.
Just like, this is our country, you guys. I love Israel more. No, I love Israel more. No, I love Israel more. But I guess the bigger, broader question is, why didn't MAGA? Why didn't MAGA? Why didn't MAGA do the thing? We've infiltrated MAGA and we told them to do what we want, and we wanted them to all make posts, anti-Mamdani posts. The answer's pretty obvious. We don't recognize this MAGA, okay? MAGA needs a new leader. Like I said, you lost the party. MAGA got fractured not when Tucker Carlson interviewed Nick Fuentes, but when Donald Trump looked at us in our faces and said Epstein who. That's when it was game over. Because Israel First is a cancer cell. It is a cancer cell, left or right, to everything and everyone that wants to play around with it. It is a radical psychosis that has manifested itself within both parties.
See, here's the thing about Mamdani. They don't want him in office because they think he's going to do anything other than what you and I know he's about to do. The leftists want America destroyed. It's the purpose of this thing, right? The Marxist is hell-bent on destroying the current system that is in place in order to replace it with whatever they see fit. Now, you can look at Exhibit B over here. Fidel Castro. He essentially proclaimed that he was to stand for the people, that he was going to make things free that were unaffordable. He was going to be the champion of the disenfranchised. And you know what he did once he got in power? He did anything that any other power-hungry communist would do.
Brother, Mamdani is not a communist. He is a democratic socialist. How many times do we have to explain this? And how many times does Mamdani have to say that he is a democratic socialist? So it makes no sense for people to throw him in the same box as Castro. But since Castro's name is being dragged into the conversation, let's talk facts, because the way the Western media talks about Fidel Castro is one-sided. They call him a dictator, but they never actually talk about what Cuba looked like before the revolution. Before Castro, Cuba was basically a playground for U.S. corporations, the mafia, rich elites, and sex tourism. And with this being said, regular Cuban people lived in poverty, and wealth was already controlled by a tiny group of powerful families and foreign companies. And that was not freedom. Cuba has more freedom now than it did before Castro. Under Castro, Cuba created universal healthcare, free college, high literacy, and major social programs, all while fighting off CIA attacks and an illegal U.S. blockade. And to be clear, Cuba has one party, yes, but it also has local committees where everyday people take part in decision-making. And that is something that the United States government never talk about. And the main reason Cuba struggles today is not because socialism doesn't work. And the main reason is the United States embargo, the longest blockade in modern history. It has cost Cuba over $150 billion. It blocks medicine, it blocks banking, it blocks trade, and it punishes other countries for doing business with Cuba. And every year, almost the whole world votes against this blockade at the UN, and the United States ignores them. So to end this off, Cuba's problems are not proof that socialism is a failure. They are proof of what a superpower would do to crush any nation that refuses to bow down to capitalism. And Castro didn't destroy Cuba. The U.S. tried to destroy Cuba because Cuba refused to be controlled by the U.S.
Oye la última aquí. Oye con lo que saltó el truqui ahora. Dice que hubo fraude electoral, que por eso los demócratas arrasaron con los republicanos. Oye, qué película. Deja tu bulto. Y es que te no te estás dando cuenta que la gente no quiere saber de ti, ni en fotos te quieren ver. ¿Cómo tú saltas con eso? Dije que hicieron fraude ahora. Zohran Mamdani viene exótico. Ay, mi madre. Ay, qué bueno que Zohran Mamdani se instaló. Es un hombre que viene exótico. Y 34 años lo que tiene. Ya tú sabes. Que anda de ahí con los menores. Haciendo diligencia bacana. Y dijo que va a poner guardería universal y de todo. Oye, bus gratis y todo. Para que la gente se desplace. Y mucha vaina que viene Zohran Mamdani en Nueva York. Para que tengan una idea. Así que, truqui. No estés buscándole la quinta pata al gato. Que arrasan contigo fue.
I talk a lot of shit about New York, right? But I can't lie. Zohran Mamdani becoming mayor of New York is a huge W for the New Yorkers. I mean, this dude is 34 years old. He is a youngin, just a decade older than me. Apparently, Bro was a rapper at one point. He is Muslim, and the most important part, he is an immigrant from Uganda. But according to the racists, all immigrants do is sell drugs and SA people. Well, guess what? An immigrant is now the mayor of one of the biggest states in America. So talk now, bitch. Talk now. Like, bro actually stands on business. Like, during his victory speech, he called out Donald Trump and told him to turn his volume up. And then he started talking about all the things he's going to do as mayor of New York City. And all of these policies are policies that Donald Trump absolutely hates. Like, on read.
Dead ass!
The balls that this man has is insane. Yes, I'm full blazing, by the way. And then after his victory speech, bro went straight to the club and was bumping Kendrick Lamar's song. Not like us. This man is for the people. Y'all New Yorkers are lucky as fuck. The only downside to him is that he wasn't born in the United States, because if he was, he would have had a crazy presidential run.
Me acaban de estafar en las elecciones. ¿Por qué? Porque no me dejaron ganar en las 3 elecciones más importantes de América. Porque nadie te quiere y todos están cansados de ti. Pero es imposible que haya perdido New York, New Jersey y Virginia al mismo tiempo. Es que todos quieren sacarte rápido de aquí. Le estás haciendo un daño terrible al país. Pero no viste las noticias. Te estaban burlando de eso. En última noticia, se acerca el fin de Trump. Pues el pendejo perdió en 3 ciudades importantes al mismo tiempo. Ni con amenazas logró evitarlo. Ja, 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 ja. ¿Y qué esperabas? Todas amenazas hasta los noticieros por publicar noticias reales sobre ti. Porque se burlan de mí y no puedo permitir eso. Bueno, pero al menos en Nueva York ganó un alcalde que promete. Es la peor elección que han tomado y por eso le voy a poner muchos aranceles a New York. Pero Zohran Mamdani se ve que es buena persona. Claro que no, es demócrata, socialista, musulmán, nació en Uganda, es inmigrante y es woke. Y con todo eso es mejor persona que tú. No puedes decir eso, yo soy lo mejor que tiene América. Si eres lo mejor porque todos te quieren fuera del país. Porque son unos tontos, pero voy a suspender los fondos de New York por eso. Solo porque eligieron al alcalde que ellos querían. Por supuesto, es que cometieron un terrible error y tengo que cambiar eso.
Yo, bro, did you see that Mamdani won the New York City mayoral race? Oh my god, dude, that's awesome. Finally, the poor and needy people of New York will get everything they need, and the rich people will finally pay their fair share in taxes. It's about time. Dude, I know, right? Usually when I focus on the political state of America right now, I feel this impending sense of doom, but for once, I finally feel a glimmer of hope, man. This is awesome. Cletus, wake the fuck up, man. That communist Mamdani just won the New York City mayoral race, Cletus. We are so fucked. What the fuck you say, man? That communist Mamdani actually fucking won? America is so fucked, dude. I know, right, Cletus? Now, when we say the Pledge of Allegiance, instead of saying one nation under God, we're going to be saying one nation under Allah. And the rich people won't be able to afford their giant mansions and yachts anymore. What the fuck will we ever do, Cletus? Cletus, I need you to look at me directly in the eyes. We are so fucked. I don't think you understand how fucked we are, Cletus.
فالقول قول الصوارم كي تسترد المظالم حتى الأراضي نسام رسول أهل العزائم فالقول قول الصوارم كي تسترد المظالم.
El socialdemócrata Zohran Mamdani gana la alcaldía de Nueva York, la ciudad más importante del mundo, y deja un mensaje para Donald Trump y para todas esas personas de extrema derecha que deberían de escuchar, incluyendo usted, señora Bascal. Escuche.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
Ha sufrido una campaña de acoso y derribo por parte de toda la extrema derecha a nivel mundial. Donald Trump intentó deportarlo por ser migrante. Donald Trump le catalogó de terrorista por ser musulmán. Señores y señores, este joven de 34 años socialdemócrata ha dado la vuelta a nivel mundial. Porque defiende la sanidad, porque defiende la educación, porque defiende el transporte, porque defiende la guardería, porque defiende la vivienda. Y eso es lo que nosotros tenemos que trasladar aquí. Su victoria ha sido decisiva gracias al voto joven. Menores de 44 años han confiado en él. Así que sí, se puede. Estamos cansados de los discursos de la extrema derecha de Vox, siempre atacando al migrante y siempre en contra de los pobres, para favorecer al rico. Tenemos mucho que aprender y esto da esperanza.
Quería comenzar diciendo que fue una realidad lo que pasó en Nueva York anoche. Zohran Mamdani, el inmigrante de Uganda, de África, de descendencia hindú, se convirtió en el alcalde de la ciudad que fue fundada por inmigrantes, y donde los inmigrantes latinos son los más importantes que hacen vibrar esa ciudad, y es el nuevo alcalde de Nueva York.
Oye, el más joven en la historia.
34 años solamente.
Súper joven, ha estado en todas las noticias, ha creado mucha polémica, muchos comentarios, sobre todo
Así
por el tema fiscal. Andan diciendo por allí que viene el efecto Mamdani, que va a venir mucha gente desde New York ahora a la Florida.
Exactamente, exactamente.
Oye, la última aquí. Bueno, truqui. Yo creo que en esta vuelta tú vas como para afuera, para que tenga una idea. Arrasan contigo. Es que ya la gente está harta de ti. La gente no te quiere ver ni en Twitter, ni en Facebook, ni en Instagram. Para que tenga una idea. Ya tú estás feo para la foto. Truqui. Así que entrega a Casa Blanca, que tú vas para afuera. Y oye esta, que ganó Zohran Mamdani. Y Donald Trump no quiere saber de ese personaje. Y ganó. Ya tú sabes cómo es que viene la película. Que pueden haber par de cambios en la política ahora mismo, y fácilmente uno sale agraciado. Entonces vamos a esperar a ver qué es lo que va a pasar con Zohran Mamdani. A ver si no se quiere poner creativo con uno también. Pero el tipo inmigrante, el tipo no puede venir con películas raras, porque lo sacamos también del aire. Si viene de que con leyes, de que media rara.
Zohran Mamdani, Bernie Sanders, and Alex Cortez are all democratic socialists, which sounds scary until you realize that democratic socialism is basically just capitalism with a conscience. It's democracy that actually gives a shit. And it works beautifully in places like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Iceland. Countries that are consistently rated the happiest on earth. Literally. They got free healthcare, free college, paid paternal leave. Hell yeah. They're over there taking sauna breaks and eating fish while we're crowdfunding hospital bills. So why can't America do it? Here's my hot take. We don't have universal healthcare because we don't have a universal we. Those countries are mostly white. If everyone actually means black, brown, poor, undocumented, indigenous people too, suddenly Congress is like, oh no, we can't afford that. Well, we could, we just don't wanna. Because caring equally for everyone would mean admitting that we never really wanted equality in the first place. There's a sick myth that if you give people help, the lazy ones will take advantage of the system. But that's a scare tactic, because the truth is the greedy ones are already taking advantage of the system. It's not the guy buying groceries with EPT. It's corporations. They make billions in profit, pay zero corporate tax, and then even get refunds. I'm calling you out. Amazon, Nike, FedEx, etc. They do it with loopholes and call it being good at business. They poison the world, pocket subsidies, and convince you that immigrants and poor people are the ones that are the problem, so they can keep doing what they're doing. And look, I know I keep bringing everything back to Jesus, Lord help me. It's only because this country is trying to move towards Christian nationalism while being a complete hypocrite about those values. Can we please ask the obvious question? What would Jesus do? Would Jesus heal the sick and feed the poor? Or would he say, get off your ass and work for it, you loser? Especially in a rigged system that pays brown men less, women even less than that, and brown women even less than that. If you actually read the Gospels, Jesus was the original democratic socialist. He didn't charge a copay to cure leprosy. He didn't ask for insurance before multiplying fish. He just did that because he was a gangster of love. So yeah, democratic socialism works. We just haven't tried it without racism. Or hypocrisy.
Kids, grab your bags. We have to flee the city. Pack your bags. It's illegal to be white now. Unless you want to live under Shakira law, we have to get out of here. Don't you understand? He doesn't like Netanyahu. How can we live here? He thinks Palestinians should be alive. How can we be safe here? It's illegal to be straight now. If anybody asks, you're gay. Who won the last season of Drag Race? No, it was Anya. Buses are going to be free? That means people we don't like are going to be able to get to our neighborhood. No, Jewel Sparkles was the runner-up. Taxes are going to be so high on the ultra-rich, which we're not a part of, but maybe someday could be. And if we are, I don't want to have to give a bunch of it to the government. He's not going to go to all the parades. Susie, toot! She wasn't even close.
Mamdani can't deliver on what he said because nothing is actually free, you know. We know it's not free. Our taxes will pay for it. You only voted for him because you want free stuff. You're lazy freeloaders. We're not freeloading. We pay taxes. Our taxes will pay for this stuff. No, you want the billionaires and the rich people to give you all this free stuff. They will pay 2% more in tax to match New Jersey's tax rates. And the rest of us, we also pay taxes. We're not getting it for free. We pay taxes, and we're telling the government to put our tax money towards these programs so that we don't have to pay again for things like the bus and childcare. Because we recognize that providing those services for free for people contributes to a better society in the long run. They can tax the rich people a little bit more, and the entire city will benefit. Well, all the rich people are going to leave. All the billionaires and millionaires are going to leave, and then you're going to see. Why would they leave? Because they have to pay more in taxes. They're here in New York City because this is the financial capital of the world, so this is where they make their money. They can leave at any time for lower tax rates. They don't because they would make less money in those other places. And also New York City is better. No, New York City is a shithole. Then why do you care? Oh, New York City. It has fallen. It has fallen. You just said it was a shithole. I'm on Fox News and I'm crying about Mamdani's election. Oh. You call it a shithole all the time. Why do you care?
Don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. You're shooting star, leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car, passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, there's no stopping me. This is what it sounds like. We don't get to a million pieces.